Have you ever seen the video of Katy Perry singing Last Friday Night in SimSpeak? That's late-stage capitalism at its finest.
Would you just be so whacked out of your mind? I would be very drunk if I...
I was about to say, I'd be absolutely fucked up if I had to do that.
I would be so drunk. I would show up a mess. I'd be like, you want me to sing for The Sims? Rip and Debbie Ferber Doll.
Hello, and welcome to Birds on Film.
Birds on film, birds on film, birds on film, birds on film.
My name is Big Dustin Wilson, joined as ever by my co-host, co-bird, Miss Erica Leigh. Erica, how the hell are you, bud?
Honk honk.
Honk,
honk, honk. We have our honkin' minions. We have our honkin' cap and feather.
Part two.
That's right. That's right.
Of the
we're back.
Illuminations.
It's almost like we never left.
It's almost like we literally didn't just hit record.
Bop,
we're
bop.
back at it.
And we watched this one today.
Yes. Yeah. I wanted to watch it on the flight home that I was taking.
Superstar.
Yeah, Superstar.
Getting flown out to his gigs.
Yeah. That was fun.
We had chocolate chip pancakes and we watched Minions.
It was epic. It was badass. Okay, all right.
There's so much I don't know how to organize our thoughts about Minions. There's so much.
In my head, it's like, if I can discuss like the thought process of why we went about it like this. Bird and me were like, oh, we want to do this to kind of lead up and capitalize on the viewership.
Minions 2 Rise of Gru, out
Yeah.
July 1st.
Yeah, but the Despicable Me as a series, I told you, I said, I personally do not have enough to say about each one.
We had to do one video for all three. It gets a little hairy where you're like, wait, which one had the thing? Oh, right. Because they kind of blend together. But yeah.
I think
distinctly 2 is the best one.
Yes.
As a series doesn't honk, we've established.
Two honks.
But 2 honks.
Yes.
Individually.
But when it comes to Minions, obviously.
God,
there's more to say. Because there's not just, we'll talk about the film, but I would also like to mention real quick how fucking crazy it is that Minions are everywhere still to this day.
Wouldn't the first one come out in 2010?
Yes!
The Despicable Me 1 came out in 2010. We're now in the year of our Lord, 2022.
They took over the fucking nation.
12 years between the original release
It's
and
been
today.
a 12-year fucking regime. Okay? And these motherfuckers aren't letting go.
No.
There's been people coming in and trying to take the place. The only one that got close was Baby Yoda. All right?
Yeah, Baby Yoda swept the nation.
Yeah.
But I would
But
say...
Baby Yoda didn't have the fucking staying power, apparently, that these two have.
No. And also, Minions are more polarizing. If you don't care about Baby Yoda, then you just don't care. But people actively hate these little guys.
This will be our most polarizing review.
Yeah, if you hate Minions, buckle up.
Because, guys, Minions are funny. And it's a fucking problem. It's the classic staple of comedy, fucking slapstick. It's so easy to do. You give the little cute people, make them fucking indestructible, and have them do a bunch of goofy shit.
They're not gonna get hurt, so you never feel bad for them. They're not even animated people. They're animated little creatures. Like, there's endless physical comedy gags with them, and they're so mean to each other. That's part of the thing. They, like, something bad happens to one of them, and they start laughing. Like, that makes you laugh. So it's like, every situation just turns into a funny. It doesn't matter what's happening. The Minions are funny.
Ooh, it's an N. What? There's an N. Hola!
It's, God, I love them. And the Minions movie, deep dive into their history. So what you get from the Minions movie, you get Jeffrey Rush narrating, which I was astounded by.
Therein lies the rub.
You get a whole evolution of these little dudes, and what you see is not so much like, oh, they start out as a single-cell organism and work their way up to this final form. What you see is, from the beginning of time, these little dudes are chasing after the biggest villain, the biggest bad guy that they can serve. That's like just their purpose in life. So you've got the fish eating the smaller fish, and then a bigger fish comes to eat that one and this, and then you get onto land, and you've got caveman bonking, you know, a jaguar or whatever. And part of their story is, in their eagerness to serve an evil master, they fuck up. They fuck up that evil overlord so bad.
They are pure chaos.
They are their own undoing at every turn. They find somebody to help and then, you know, trip them up into you know, killing them.
Yes.
And then they gotta find a new boss. Almost like a host.
Yes, yes.
Like they're looking for a host and they eventually destroy
They
that
are
host.
a parasitic, symbiotic, like species.
Minions are the parasite. So, what I loved about the intro though is it's very clear that that Illumination decided the most recent real-life human bad guy they could portray on screen was Napoleon. Because they get, you know, they jump from bad guy to bad guy,
yeah,
and they get to Napoleon, and all of a sudden they're like, we gotta isolate in a cave.
We're not gonna talk about any other
nothing else happened
horrible pieces of shit.
From Napoleon to the 1960s, they are isolated. They are excommunicated from human history. They do not touch it.
I wonder what happened in the time period of after Napoleon and just during Nixon. Something happened.
With his neat hair.
His little hair.
Rip-a-dip-a pervert-op. God.
Army Denzel table dupes, Ibi Duka Mimi shoops, Hippie keeps the upper goop.
Sandra Bullock, horrible performance.
She really beefed it. She did a terrible job.
Yeah.
She did an awful job.
Yeah, she did a bad job.
No
emotion in any of the voice, which is weird because like the character is very expressive.
Yes, and she's a good actress in like I have some really fond like
Miss Congeniality.
Yes.
Great film.
28 Days. Like
28 Days.
She's good, but
yeah, not
sucked.
I
hated it.
If it is not too much to ask of you people, will you just back the fuck off?
John Hamm's in it.
He does great.
He's not in the film enough.
He's not in the film enough, and he's playing off Sandra Bullock, so like.
Yeah, he can't really do much. But my issue with the film, one of my main issues, is like these villain characters are introduced, and we lose the narrator instantly. And
I don't mind that.
I think it would be more interesting as a film if we stayed with that.
But he comes back at the end.
Pace. But yeah, that's lazy.
Oh, I like that.
That's so lazy.
It's like very fairy tale. Like, you're reading the intro to the book, you see the pages, you set it up, you see a picture, all of a sudden you dive in, and now you're in the story.
Yes.
And then when it resolves,
but the
pick it back
narrator's
up.
still explaining what's happening.
If they made that and I saw it, maybe I could decide if I liked it better. But I don't miss it.
Like you have things like The Princess Bride, right? The Princess
Right.
Bride starts off, he's talking to the
He's
kid,
reading his game.
and then like we still hear him explain the story throughout it. It's
Yeah,
not like it
but
stops
they
halfway
jump,
through,
but they jump out
and
of
then
the
they come
story.
back. Yeah.
They
But-
go back to the bedroom, and you have the interaction between Fred Savage and Mel Brooks.
I'm just
Right.
so...
I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so when they jump out of the story, you have the interaction between grandpa and grandson, and they're talking to each other in the bedroom. You're not in the story anymore. So we would have had to zoom out of the Minions' current position.
No, you didn't have to do that. You could
But
have had
if you
the
had the
narrator.
narrator voice,
Yes.
you'd be breaking the current storyline, the current timeline. Where would you go to?
Maybe you just don't do it. You just don't do that story.
You just don't make a Minion movie? What are you talking about?
Well, that's
I mean,
one thing.
You would never say that to my face. You would never say that to me.
The Minion movie fails at times to me because I just don't think there's enough gags and goofs for it to make up what the film is trying to do.
What's the film trying to do,
It's
Dustin?
trying to be a big goofy gag movie. Lot of goofs, lot of stuff, lot of slapstick happening, and there's a fair amount. But then there's times where like the villains, the time the villains take up, it's so much, and it feels so long, and there's nothing happening.
I think that would be different if we had a more compelling main villain.
I agree.
If Sandra Bullock had done a better job, or if they had hired a real voice actor to play Scarlet Overkill, we may not have minded how much time because you have to set up the villain as this person that the Minions are trying to serve and undoing at the same time. That's what we learned throughout their history. That's what we know is going to happen here. We just don't know how they get to Gru.
Yes.
That's obviously where the movie's going, right?
Yes.
So we have to have the screen time for the villain because we have to undo her.
But the villain's
to get
so
to Gru.
nothing. And then when the villain's
How can you
on screen,
say it's so nothing?
the villain's nothing. Every time.
That's Sandra Bullock's fault.
But no. In the end, it is still the film's fault. Sandra Bullock's in the film. We can't just say it's her fault.
She
Film's
shoots
still
a
fine.
lava gun, a giant lava gun, a dual barrel lava gun at the entirety of the Minion There is the peril that maybe we will lose all of the Minions into this magma cavern.
Yes.
There is peril.
Yeah.
And you plenty happens in this movie. I don't think there's too few gags. I do think there is one too many song and dance number.
Yes, it's too kiddie.
Well, we are.
I know. Okay, no. All right. I know we're watching a kids movie. I get it. Okay, it's Minions. It's made for kids. But you're telling me that kids are gonna watch that scene and think that's funny?
Yes.
You think that? Really?
3 beef eaters lose their uniforms, big shaggy hair, singing and dancing with the Minions.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yes,
but
I do think children will laugh at that. And I also think that there's a precedent set in the Despicable Me franchise as a jukebox series. Like pop songs within the movies that you're singing along to. Happy by Pharrell.
Yes.
There's Michael Jackson songs all throughout 3.
There's a couple of them in the Minions movie.
Right. So like
catchy.
that, I think maybe that would have improved that song and dance number for me if it was just straight up jukebox instead of the 3 beef eaters singing in Minion. Maybe. But I wasn't crazy about
I wasn't into it. I don't think it's a good scene. I
don't think it's a good scene either.
I don't think it's funny. I don't think.
No, I didn't like it.
It's not entertaining.
But that's maybe the only funny bit that didn't connect with me. I think everything else is spot on. I love all the Minion gags.
They don't miss as much as I remember them missing.
On your second watch through, you were like, okay.
I was like, okay, this is funny. This is fun. But they could have. The bits from the Despicable Me base series, a lot of times, are much funnier than the Minions movie. And I think that might be because this is very Minions forward. We're seeing a lot.
You think it's having so much Minion screen time dilutes the Minion gags?
Yes.
They don't punch as hard.
They should have. To me,
impact.
it should have been all King Bob.
You can't have a feature-length
can!
film of all King Bob!
No, not literally. Like, because the King Bob bit, that's funny. That's hysterical.
I like when Stu shreds on the guitar and then smashes it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yes. That's super cute. That's goofy. This movie.
Hello, Kevin.
There's
so many good parts.
Some good shit. It's fun, but it's something stopping me.
I still don't like Gru.
You still don't like
I
Baby Gru?
still don't like Gru.
It's because he's nasty looking.
I understand the logic, and it makes, like, just because I believe that the character design of Gru is too cutesy to be villainous does not negate the fact that he trumps Scarlet Overkill in the end of the film. She has, you know, her big moment to try to get away. He freezes her in a block of ice, takes the crown. So he won, and he did exactly what they set up in the beginning of the film, which was, you know, fish comes along, eats a smaller fish, bigger fish comes along, eats. He did that, okay, that's the boss now. I get it. I just don't like that little kid. And also, like, Steve Carell doing a little kid voice was stupid.
Weird.
Oh, I don't think so.
Very
He
strange.
didn't even really make it high-pitched. Like, it's just Gru in a kid body. And
Clink, there we go.
I wish there was a lot more slapstick. Anytime the Minions got squished or got hurt, it was very funny.
It is very funny.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I might have liked this movie. Not adore it, okay. But we've talked about this before, like personally. You can see a movie, okay? You can see a beautifully made, fucking amazing directorial masterpiece.
Technically good,
yes.
quality's there, money's behind it.
Watch it and it's perfect and you love it and you're like, oh wow, I'm never gonna see that again. Honestly, Minions, I might watch again.
Yeah.
Watch it again.
I could watch it a lot more.
It's fun. It's easy to watch.
Yes.
It's popcorn.
Eat a big bucket of popcorn.
Yeah,
Watch it over and over again.
Big, nasty, buttery, salty. When I eat it, I kind of feel nasty.
It's shit, but we love it.
Yeah.
I think what you were saying about there not being enough bits, not enough gaffes and goofs and gags, I think you don't remember them individually after because there are so many.
Yeah.
While you're watching it, it's joke after joke after joke. There's so many small little things that made me giggle or smile or just like full on big belly laugh over and over and over again. You get to the end of the film and I'm like, oh, I guess I don't remember any slapstick. But it's just so much of it.
I guess what I wanted was more bigger, funnier set pieces.
But we do have that too. Like when we get Kaiju Kevin, like the whole lead
I
up
don't
to
like
him.
that.
Whoa! Hold on. What? What?
I think it's fine, and it serves the purpose for what it does in the plot. But to me, it's like, I don't know. Do something. You can do goofier than Kaiju Kevin.
Do you not remember how he becomes Kaiju Kevin?
I do.
He's tripping up in the evil layer, and he like smashes into a button. Big sign says, "Don't push this button." He goes, ah! He falls over and pulls a lever. The big sign says, "Don't pull this lever." And then he like finally regains his balance. And he goes, whew. And there's a big sign that says, "Don't blow in this hole," and it trips off the machine.
That's funny.
And it blows him up into a huge minion. It's awesome.
But the big Kaiju Kevin is around for too long to me. He's around for too long.
What is it, like 10 minutes, maybe?
That's a lot. 10 minutes is a lot. I don't think it's 10 minutes.
You don't even think it is?
No, I don't think it's 10 minutes.
I have no sense of time.
Yeah, I don't think you realize how long 10 minutes is.
Kaiju Kevin gives me one of my best jokes while watching the film. When he falls into the tower. Oh, that's gotta hurt. That's a funny bit that I do while I watch it.
I'm funny.
So,
I'm funny watching the movie.
In conclusion, Minions is good because I'm funny.
I think we're at the point where it's time to...
I think you know where I stand.
Yes, I know.
I think you know how hard Minions movie honks for me personally. It's up to you, I think, really, Dustin. Does this movie honk?
Definitely. Yes. No, it definitely honks.
I didn't know if you would say that. I was still
I have my
unsure.
Reservations with
Yeah,
it.
you're really combative on this one.
I just don't think it's as funny to me personally.
God,
But
I lose my shit over Minions.
I understand. I understand the appeal. I'd rather watch this over most of the Despicable Me films.
Yeah, you either give me 2 or none of them.
Yeah.
And it's always gonna be Minions over 2. Although, I'd watch the first little bit of 3 for Balthazar Brat.
Yeah, very fun. But...
I've been a bad boy.
It's popcorn.